Oh, hello. I didn't see you there. Hello, internet friends. Today's lesson is a very important one, and is to teach you, there you are, the viewer, how to get your Line 6 DL4 or any other similar 4-foot switch Line 6 pedal working properly the way it should have come from the factory. If any of you have watched any of my other videos, you know how many Line 6 DL4s I've went through in the past on tour, and how many I've broken and how unreliable and horrible they are. If you know anything about them, this is what the foot switches inside of the pedal look like when they come from the factory. It's a spring. It pushes an actuator on the circuit board. It's extremely ghetto. So what we have now is 4 Maplin's foot switches. It's a single pull, single throw, momentary foot switch. They sell it as a hard-wearing push-to-make foot switch. Same thing. Just the important part here is that it's low profile, meaning that this part is quite small. Otherwise it won't fit inside the pedal. So that's something to keep in mind. The other good thing here is that the terminals come out of the side, as you can see, for easy soldering. They don't come out of the bottom, so it won't smash up against your circuit board when you put it on the inside. And it will work a lot better than this, trust me. Your loop won't stop in the middle of the show. It won't go into half speed or reverse for no apparent reason. So if any of this sounds confusing to you, just stick around and hopefully it will make sense. Okay, so the first step is to open this bad boy up. You need a Phillips head screwdriver and a pair of pliers. Yeah, it's pretty much simple. You just take out the screws, unscrew these, pull off the knobs, and pull these off with a pair of pliers, like so. Okay, now, you don't actually have to remove these quite yet, but you'll find this weird silver thing in here. Just unscrew it. Sometimes, too, your pedal will have these battery things in there. Those just slide right out. And then the board will just... oh, wait. Forgot about these. Okay, now it should just slide right out. There we go. So that's what you're relying on at your show. Little button here. Doesn't work very good, to say the least. Here's the foot switches I was talking about. Little spring deal. These have to come out now because you're going to replace them with new and better foot switches. I should also mention that if you choose to do this, you're doing it at your own risk, and you definitely cannot hold me accountable if you break your pedal while doing this, so please keep that in mind and don't sue me. I would like that. I don't have enough money as it is, that's why I decided to do this and not just buy a new one. Okay, so now what's left is the circuit board and the 4 buttons here. Each button has 4 connections on the back, as you can see. So you basically just need to melt all these with this and pull them out with a pair of pliers. Once it's melted, you'll be able to just grab onto here and it will slide right off. This probably isn't even hot yet. For this next task, you will need a soldering pencil. This one's pretty crappy, so any one will do, really. some solder, and some wire. It's good to have two kinds, because each foot switch is going to have two connections going to it, as you can see here. So it's good to keep track of what's going on. Alright, now, these, you can throw them in the garbage. You don't need them anymore. Alright, so now if you look at your board, what's going to happen is each of the 4 places where your switches need to go, there's actually 4 solder joints, but you only need to use 2 of them. So here's your foot switch. The far switch is going to go here, the bottom right, and the top left is going to be your front one. It's hard to illustrate in the video. I will put up a photo for you because I'm a nice guy. Alright, hopefully you have your soldering pencils in hand and are ready to connect the red wire to A and the blue wire to D. In the video I'm actually using a black wire and not a blue one, but that's irrelevant as you could use any color wire you desire. Okay, so your next step is to solder in these foot switches. I fastened them into the front already. They're nice and snug. I also left a lot of excess wire. I probably didn't need to do that, but this way I can slide the board in and snip these down to be the exact length, which is a nice and tidy way of doing it. You could do it the other way around if you wanted, by just soldering the wire to here and then connecting it to the foot switch itself. Doesn't really matter, just as long as you get to the next step, which is connecting the switches to the board, which I am about to execute. But I have to plug in my soldering iron. That was dumb. Why did I unplug it? Shit. Alright, so now that that's been completed, you should have something like this going on the inside. The wires don't even really need to wrap around. You could solder them to the front. I just thought it was a lot easier this way. And then you just put the pedal back together, basically. And there you have it. Enjoy.